All right, so Ethan Klein has gotten himself into some trouble once again. Of course, he got carried away with talking about the school shooting that happened last week, and he said some real stupid stuff, and now people are trying to get him banned from YouTube, and they're trying to get a strike on his channel. This guy just cannot control himself. It's hard to believe that this is a grown man with a family because he seems so immature. He got on his podcast that I think like 40,000 people are watching live, and probably 1 million people are going to watch, and he said that somebody should go bomb the NRA convention that's going on. And here, I'll just play the clip.
There's zero hope.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering. So there was a big protest outside the NRA meeting, which was good. Do we have any insight into what they're actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas? Someone should bomb that building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Don't.
I'll roll that back.
Roll that back immediately.
Everything but violence.
Just rewind time.
Let me.
We cut back.
I got a little carried away there. Nobody bombed the building. All right, I take that back. Thank you. I took it a little too. I got a little passionate there. Let's roll it back.
How do we go back in time?
Rewind time.
So like I said, this guy just has no filter at all. I don't know how he thought that that would be something appropriate to say. And of course his producer had to call him out on it. And it sounded like right when he said it, Hila was like, like she was agreeing with him. Like these people are just so out of touch. It's unbelievable. And of course his fans are like, oh, he was joking around. This was a joke. Why is Ethan the only person that can tell a joke? It seems like everything he says is a joke. People are taking it too seriously. But when someone else says something that's a joke, it's like, oh my God, how dare they say that? That can't be a joke. There's no way that's a joke. And like, what's the joke here? Like, I think he honestly wishes somebody would bomb it. I believe that. It doesn't sound like a joke to me. And I'm not even a big fan of the NRA. I'm not a big fan of guns. I don't own a gun. I probably never will unless I feel like I need it for self-defense. So I was kind of agreeing with what Ethan had to say about this, but I knew he was going to get carried away. It was only a matter of time because he just cannot help himself. Like, if I were somebody working on his podcast, I'd be like, you know what, it's probably not the best idea for you to be talking about this, at least live, because you're going to say something stupid because you're an idiot and you just want attention so badly that you're going to say ridiculous shit. They just have no self-control at all. Like every political or social issue that comes up, they need to be the ones to like have the strongest opinion, make the boldest statement on it. And at this point, if they really cared and they want to get something done, they want to make some progress, then how about you talk to some people on the right and you have them on and you debate them and you try to come to an agreement, maybe you try to change their opinion. Like, it's not working, whatever you're doing, just tweeting about shit and making stupid videos. Like, you're actually gonna have to talk to the people that disagree with you and like the people that you need on your side to make actual change. Like, you just ranting about it on your podcast and just doing this whole circle jerk where everyone around you agrees with you and you have a son on and you just all talk about the shit you all agree on and you don't debate anything. It's just like, yeah, we all think this is bad. We're all good people for doing this. We all know what's right. It's like, all right, good for you guys. Too bad you're doing nothing. Like, Ethan raised some money, I think, for the families, which is good. Like, that's really good to hear. But in terms of actual change, I'd say they're probably only making things worse. I mean, to make actual change, people are going to have to talk. People that disagree are going to have to talk to each other. Like right now, it's just all tribal mentality. It's all just like our team against theirs. We want to make them look like idiots. We want to dunk on them. We want to embarrass them. And that's getting you nowhere. And you need to talk to other people and you need to come to an agreement to have actual change. Like when Ethan had on Steven Crowder and they're going to do a debate or whatever, and then he brought in Sam Cedar, and like it's just all about, oh, look at gotcha, like we made you look like an idiot, we made you mad. There's nothing productive about that. Like if Ethan wanted to be productive, then have someone on, debate them, make them look like an idiot in a debate, and then maybe it'll work. Like, you just doing some weird stunt like that is not doing anything. And like I said, I kind of agreed with Ethan's take in the beginning on this school shooting. I thought he had the right idea. I like what he's saying. Like, for the most part, I'm sure he said some stupid shit. But compared to like Tim Pool is just so far gone with all the gun stuff. And I know people are really into guns and everything. I think it's weird when people get too obsessed with guns. And I think the fact that this kid, this lunatic, was able to spend $4,000 on weapons on his 18th birthday is insane, and obviously there needs to be a change. Like, there needs to be stricter gun regulations. Like, that can't happen. Like, there's just no way anybody should let that happen. But also, I still think schools should be more secure, and there should be guards and like cameras and locked doors, whatever needs to happen. Like, even if they had stricter gun regulations, I still wouldn't be comfortable with that. If I were going to school, and I'm sure most kids in school, if they're like, hey, the government's going to ban all the guns tomorrow, I would still be like, well, those lunatics are probably going to find a way to get the guns anyways. I still want guards at the door. And people are like, it's going to be a jail. Like, why would you want a school to turn into a jail? Like, a lot of places have guards with guns and stuff like that. Like banks, sporting events, you have to go through metal detectors. There's security everywhere. There are cops with guns. If you go to Grand Central Station in New York City, there are people standing around with like real serious guns. I'm not a gun person. I don't know what kind of guns, but if you see it, you're like, whoa, damn. Like, these people are not messing around. And you know what? That's probably what needs to happen at a school, unfortunately. It sucks that it's what it's come to, but I think that's probably the safest way to do it. And of course, people on the left are like, you just want to turn a school into a jail? That's terrible. School is already basically a jail. Like, adding a couple of security guards and cameras and stuff, is that really going to change anything? It'll probably make the students more comfortable, at least. And like I said, a lot of places have a lot of security like that, so it's not anything new. And like I said, I agree that there should be stricter gun regulations as well. Like, the fact that that kid could buy a gun is just insane. Like, I don't think anybody should be okay with that. But it's one or the other, it seems like, because Ethan and Hila were talking about this, and like, I can't believe people think that there should be more security at school. They thought that was an insane thought. Like, listen to this.
Yeah, but guys, the solution can't be more guns, more security at schools. Do you understand how fucking insane that is?
I don't think anybody actually believes it.
I'm afraid to tell you that, but there are people in this country that believe that.
Well,
It's
maybe,
a poll.
but
It's a
maybe,
poll with
okay.
100 million people in it.
Maybe it's not 100 million though.
There's a lot of people, man, that are a part of the gun cult in this country.
But there's a lot of people that love guns, but they have a brain. They have a functioning brain.
I don't know why they're acting like if you want more security at a school, then that means you're like out of your mind. Like, that's a crazy thought to have. I feel like, why wouldn't you want more security? What's the harm in that, having more security? How would that hurt anybody? And obviously it's not going to solve the problem, but I mean, it's something to help. And I know some people on the right obviously get carried away with it, and they think that like students should like learn to use guns in class, or like teachers should have guns, and I don't know, like there's some crazy solutions out there. But I think more security is, I mean, that's obvious. Who would disagree with that? Why are they acting like that's crazy to say? And also, it's funny because Ethan owns a gun, and if there were stricter regulations, like in other countries, if they wanted it the same way how other countries are, then Ethan probably wouldn't be able to own that gun, because I mean, he's got some mental problems. He's like really depressed. He's got Tourette's. In other countries, I don't think you'd be able to own a gun with that kind of stuff. And he's gone on some unhinged rants, like I've shown. So I don't know if people would really trust him with a gun. Like earlier this year, he went on this crazy rant about how he just sits around thinking about the code to his safe, and he just is waiting for somebody to come in, and he's just going to blast him with a shotgun. Here, I'll play it.
Okay. So to say I'm against violence, yo, this is how I sit in bed and I think about the lock combo on my gun cabinet. I imagine how fast I can get there, punch in the code, take out the gun, turn off the safety, put the bullet in the chamber. I think about that obsessively every night. And that's the world I live in. Okay. So I'm not against violence when it's necessary. Punching a guy for saying a stupid joke is not necessary. And if you want to test me, come to my fucking house, and I've got 7 bullets. It's a semi-automatic shotgun, and I can unleash 7 fucking bullets on you without even have to cock that bitch.
So this guy seems a little too excited about like shooting somebody. It sounds like he fantasizes about it. And like just the fact that he's talking about this in a video is weird. And his wife is behind him, I think, with their kid. Like, what is going on here? If you watch this, you probably think this is like somebody on the right talking about how they love guns and they can't wait for somebody to break into their house so they can gun them down. And I think I saw on Twitter, there are a lot of people calling to have people just turn in their guns to show that they want to end school shootings and end like gun violence or something. So if Ethan wants to show support, maybe that's something he should do. I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like when issues like this, it's always like he has to be the most self-righteous person ever. He knows what's good for everybody, and he can get away with saying crazy shit like saying to bomb the NRA because his heart's in the right place and he's just real heated about the issue. But if you're anybody else saying something like that, you know Ethan would be all over that. He'd be like, oh my God, how dare they call for an act of violence like this? And this is too far. They weren't joking. They'd be completely serious. But then when Ethan does it, it's like, oh no, his heart's in the right place. He's a good guy. He's on the right side. He's just trying to make it all about himself. That's what it always seems like. He just can never just try to take things easy, try to stay on the right course, not like go overboard with it. It's always like, I have to make the biggest scene here. I have to make the craziest statement. And in the end, it doesn't do much. It only makes things worse, I think, because it only divides people more. It only separates the sides further. At this point, like if you really want to make change, you're going to have to try to bring people together. You just ranting about how much you hate Republicans and never talking to them at all, never debating them, never having them on, that's not going to help at all. It's only going to hurt. If you want to be productive, have some of those people on, try to change their minds, try to talk to them. And it's crazy because Ethan used to kind of have this opinion 4 or 5 years ago when he was more normal and more rational. Like here's a video about why Ethan shouldn't have started Leftovers, where I go into that. So while I was making this video, I saw that his podcast was actually just taken down, the one where he's talking about the bomb threat, because it obviously violated terms of service. And maybe some other repercussions will come from that. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe got a strike or something like that. So if there's any update on that, I'll probably make another video. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.